There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Calling out people who willing to serve. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The brothers giving us here and the promise from there. The work with my life without fear.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Play Paris, who make on you. I can't ask you if you been you. Say my journey, Tina can ask my jamo. And you no money, and more I go. And you love what is
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmother.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money. And I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money. Another forget now ya to money. That's the baby. Another forget now. Cause you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmother.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Calling out people who willing to serve. The flesh, the time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the promise from best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside to Raji to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat to San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Wonderful day, wonderful time. Good evening to all of you. Good evening, good morning to all Liberians. Honor our voice, better stay honor my voice. This wonderful Tuesday evening, having to be the 25th of August. We're going 25 days now in the month of August, the 8th month. Yes, it's good to be back. Since last Friday, people, yeah, we went for our little weekend break, and unfortunately for us on Monday, which of course on yesterday we had some business schedule, so we were not able to be with you here. But again, it's good to be back. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to all of you. My name is Johnson Mavonkura. I'm sitting pretty tight right here at the 2FM 96.1. And that of the Sktv show. Like again, let me say thanks to the head of radio and programs, Oni Osumba Ravas, and the CEO of this great institution, Honorable Laike Bedete, for always giving us the opportunity, especially the Sktv family, for carrying our broadcast, or in fact for airing our broadcast right on their platform. That's good. Thanks to all of you for all you do, and to the entire team, the work folks, the Sktv family, and all of you, man. Let me say good evening again to all of you. No, it's not easy, but tonight the streets are talking about the drugs, about the poverty, about the claims and other counter claims flying around, all of the things happening around Mama Lib. I don't know. I know it's a lot out there. I know it feel like we are all holding and pulling in different directions. But one thing I know is that we are staying here, and we're going to be here as Liberians, and we still have a flag, a voice, and better still, a future to fight for. So tonight, let's talk. All of you there tonight, let's talk, and let's talk about these issues. Let's talk about things, not to fight each other, but to figure out things that are happening in our motherland and be able to find a better solution for Mama Liberia. Help us share the show. It's 5 minutes. That's the time check. 5 minutes past 6 from what I said and broadcast. Help us share the show this evening. For matter of fact, the show will be interesting. I know so many things happening. Like I said already from our introductory part, that indeed There are a lot of things happening. The drugs Wahala still continue. The former vice president, Madam Joa Howard Taylor, will be spending her first night at the Monrovia Central Prison of Bella State, the Sub Beach, in the right there in District number 8. I live around there for nearly 14 years. Some of you, yes, sometimes we used to go around the entire end. Is that the UN Drive? Yes, the UN Drive end, moving downward to what kind of street? Crossing to that Sub Beach side. That's Center because yes, usually it's Center Street. Center Street come around that end. Yes, again. So again, people, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. It's not easy. I know the same question you're asking is the same question myself I'm asking. The same thing running through your mind. It's the same thing running through my mind. The same way you are feeling. It's the same way myself I'm feeling. But at the end of the day, it's not easy. So people help us share the show. We're sharing the show already. Sticky Travel, my good friend and brother, good evening to all of you. Help us. Some of you who just joined, I know that you miss us a lot, especially when we're not on. Even one day can be a whole month. Some of you can be calling back to back. Maybe what happened? Maybe you people don't come here. Yeah, maybe you guys have to come up. Because for us, we don't fasting frog. Let me just say in a simple form. We don't fasting frog for snake. We don't do that. For us, we don't do pick and choose. We serve a country who are responsible. We will talk about this thing. But let me just say this again to some of you today so you can get something clear today. Because always some of you misinterpret us. You have your own thing and you want to do. The reason why you see today, people will always lay on the side of the common people or the people who don't have power because government, especially in Africa, government abuse power. Government see the people as they are nothing. Yes. That the people that voted for them, the people that gave them these viewer positions, that's some of the people that they are going around with today. They are buying all kinds of vehicles, all kinds of things. They are receiving all kinds of gifts. They don't respect these people. That's why some of us, we choose to be advocates for the people. No matter which way you want to put it, you can say whatsoever thing you want to do. You can support the government to come to power, but don't support the government in their dubious acts, in their bad behavior, in terrible things. No, don't support the government. I stand to be corrected. We're going to almost 3 years. Some of you now tell me how many kilometers. Some of you who can do the road construction. Is that kilometer, right? Good. I think my brother, if I stick it travel, will help me. And some of you who are engineering, and a kilometer. Send the government into power. How many kilometers of road that the government has maybe dedicated or something that you know about that they started and they finished that you know about? But I think government running around with roads. So sometimes you gotta be careful. But again, we hear, man, people, all of our team of panelists will soon join us. But I'm doing the sharing of the show. Help us, like I said already. Some kind of thing happened not too long at the Capitol Hill there, where we saw the Student Unification Party of the State Soup, militants, and that of the Liberia National Police throwing rocks at one another, and back to back. I don't know what really went wrong, but at the end of the day, we saw some videos. Thank God that I live for the internet. Some of you know about them during those days. All of these things, we just used to hear on the radio. Sometimes it's safer, and that's the thing with internet. That's the thing now. Even if you want to be a hardcore criminal, you don't have to desist. Because the internet will not help you to safety. The way you chunk the rock, that how the internet or the video or the phone or the cell phone will record that exact image or that exact happening and send it straight on the internet. So I want to see some of you jumping. But anyway, let me bring on Mr. Dishu, who just joining us. Mr. Dishu, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. What's everything from your end?
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to the viewers and listeners.
Mr. Dishu.
Hello, you hear me?
Mr. Tissue?
Yes, I'm on. I'm on, Maybon. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
sorry, like we got to get Mr. Tissue off. While we do the sharing of the show, please help us. So let me just show the video while we do the sharing of the show. Some of you who are watching, so you can see some of the things that I just talked about not too long with the police and all of the student unification party choking rock at one another. Look, the country interesting. Ah, God. Liberia. Yeah, so some of you who are listening, we saw that I think the audio, the guy behind the recording, or in fact, this is Spoon. Let me just give credit to them quickly. It is Spoon. Okay, so the guy start talking.
Hello, welcome to Spoon TV Live.
All right.
My name is Haji Masale. We are here on Capitol Hill where we are seeing members of the Student Unification Party engaged in the Liberia National Police. You can see the student police are being chased out of Capitol Hill. You can see two police officers there running for their lives. Earlier we saw some police officers who were throwing stones as well at the members of the Student Unification Party, and now the sub members are back on the main street of between the Capitol building and the University of Liberia main campus. Throwing stones, I can see that glass door been broken in. The police officer there, okay, you can see people running for their life. Security officers also escaping. Police should be calling for reinforcement. And the SUP members are still there throwing stones as well. So there you see them lighting firewood on the main road. So right now vehicles are not using this route. They are still throwing stones. The police who were retaliating with a throwing stone were overwhelmed and they had to flee. And the members of the Student Unification Party are still throwing stone. You can see the police officers. This police car is going back. So
Well, okay, so there you have it. Let me bring on Mr. Dishu. I don't know whether he's set and ready. Mr. Dishu, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Mr. Dishu? Mr. Dishu? Oh, wow. Let me see. Let me bring on Mr. Connor and see as to whether maybe he will join us.
Hello, Maybon. Can you hear me?
Oh, but Mr. Dishu, what happened? What happened to you? You come on and tell you weren't paying attention or what? But anyway, good evening. I'm getting you.
I'm glad that you got me now. I was trying to adjust my laptop.
Okay.
Yeah. So hi there, Maybon. Hello to the Liberian listeners. And all of those that follow SKTV, I say hello to all of you, and we are here this evening to share our part into the conversation that will be held on Liberia today. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Tishu. Mr. Conan, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. What's up? Everything?
Hey, Mabel, how you doing, old man? Great to see you. And let me say good afternoon. I assume it's afternoon in Brussels now, my dear brother Tishu, right?
Oh no, it's 8:15 in the evening.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Good evening. Then. At least I know now. It's
6 hours different.
Yeah. Good evening. Anyway, it's great to see you guys. And Mabel, I know you said you were in my town yesterday, Kakata.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want to do in that town, but whatever it is, I hope it was for a worthy cause, my man.
Yeah.
I hope nobody pull you over there for brand top business, my man.
Sometimes we got to give the city a little time because it can be easy.
So now you gotta get out a little bit sometime, right?
Exactly. So got lost. So now what happened?
Great to see you guys, man. Anyway, I know. I think I told you this before, and I think you have come to the realization that the journalists nowadays, you ain't gotta go look for a lot of news, man, because your country is such that the news is just like by the time you wake up, it's right on the top of your bed that you guys can just take and then just expand on it. You ain't gotta pay a lot for news nowadays, so a lot is happening in the country, and we hope to delve into it today, and contribute our little quota to it. That's all I can say for that.
Yes, wonderful. That's good. So we can just start now because, like you just said, so many things happening, ranging from the former vice president who was charged, I think, somewhere around the 19th of August, with the alleged connection of the 217 million dollar worth of cocaine, and finally she has been taken to the Monrovia Central Prison, or better say the South Beach, where she'll be spending her first night there at the South Beach. And the charges also been, in fact, her connections and whatsoever thing that she had received the government or through the court. Today they were able to tell her wrongdoing and some of these things, everything. So at the end of the day, she will also deny lawyers, according to our reporters, people who were on the scene. And yeah, so today she'll be spending a fortnight. I know all of these things today, there are a lot of things running in the minds of our common people, some of the people who voted for, some of them who never voted for, and some of the people who even never voted at all. And all Liberians today, they are all wishing to hear and to know exactly as to what's going to happen. But we have all of the charges and all of the things. I think when we send them into our chat number, we'll go ahead and read these things. I will go along with the show. But apart from that, also, I think over the weekend, so many things happen. Accidents, I think along the Banga, Bon County highway there, on the Banga Kakata, or as you may call, highway on our end. I think the first incident happened where nearly almost, 11 persons lost their lives, according to NMP reports, into a motor accident. And I think before that, also a former superintendent, I think from Bon County, also lost his life. I think Rennie also, he has lost his life. He died. And while we were also mourning these people, also we heard news from Grand Bassa County that former superintendent Janje Bakwe also passed off. And so yeah, over the weekend, it was not really too good for Liberians. Then we also enter into the Flag Day celebration, which of course was on yesterday. So Liberians celebrated 179 Flag Day yesterday. But apart from that, the sad news, the political news, the everything, and also on Sunday, the former president also, in fact, George Weah was seen in Nigeria, where he attended the Nigerian Bar Association 66th anniversary or convention, or what you may call. and he was the keynote speaker, and he had so many things to say. He said so many things during that engagement and so forth. And yeah, so far so good. Mr. Tishu and other Mr. Connor. These are some of the happening of the day, of the week, and so forth. Maybe if you guys have anything to chip in with, then we'll move on to the main talking point today that have to do with the former Vice President being taken to the Maneuver Central Prison on the basis of her receiving gift. I think something worth almost 135,000 USD. So we'll also go more deep into that as to what that entail. Who are those people that also have been receiving gift? If receiving gift should be maybe placed on people just because maybe quote unquote maybe receive gift from you. So also maybe your connections and so forth, all of these things. We'll be asking also when we go to the line later on, we'll be asking the common people some of these things so that they too they can understand these things, because whether they're politics or not. So far so good. Let me leave it to you guys so that you people can have the say on some of the things that I just said, if maybe reaching from what happened over the weekend and so forth.
Yeah, maybe I got you clear, and I think that the information that you just gave about what's happening in Liberia, I think is all our Liberian thing, as we all see it. But the most important thing is on the vice president arrest and indictment. Maybe if you go to August 19 on the podcast for Sktv, what was my revelation on this? There is a conspiracy that is happening, and I explained the theory to you when this thing was in action, and just what I said is what is happening at this particular time. I told you that for the vice president to have been arrested at the airport, there must have been something that was instigated by the investigator together at one point. Now, this is the conspiracy. Joe Howard has EPS officer with her. If she was traveling, definitely the foreign ministry was in the know. The EPS people was in the know of that. And I think the Liberian government knew that she was traveling. And what happened was that the problem that the IG created for himself and the public, they had to do something to quench the minds of the Liberian people about what they said and how they were going to do it. Now remember, during the Senate hearing, when Gregory went there, he said higher ups in the government. He meant the now government, not the past government. When the last SOA came on, the last DEA officer before the other one came on, he also stated they were high government officials. Gregory said high government officials. Now, when after that Senate hearing, and the public started to put out that Gregory should name the higher ups in the government, he could not do that. So what he did was that they make out a conference at the Ministry of Information there. That is when he changed to past and present government officials. I want you to check the two links. It's when he actually stated now that it was past. That means to say he had come to the point that he had to correct himself because of the lack of voices that were asking for the answers that the question that he said high government officials, they wanted some answer, they wanted some names. So when he put it to pass, he had an avenue. Now this avenue, how he used it was that this Sheikh Bossa Conte or something like that is in Liberia. and he having serious problem internationally. So what they did with him was that they used him as a causeway to get to the vice president. This thing that happened with the vice president and through this Sheikh guy that happened in Dubai, just imagine 2021, 2022. She received money for her foundation. Now, the receipt of this money for her foundation was not anything probably in her known that these people or whatever that were doing giving her these things were into any kind of drug business. I believe, I'm not that sure, that she was innocent. She was receiving the gifts to upgrade her foundation. So what the government did was that since they had some kind of communication between this woman and this Sheikh man, the government went to him and told him to place in a call to the VP. On that same day, she was arrested. He placed a call to the VP, and he reminded the VP of 2021, 2022 transaction, reminded her that whatever was happening, the people were going to come back to Liberia and give her the balance money and all of that. It was a planned game to put into the investigation of this tape recording that she and this man have talked, and they have talked about this business of she receiving money. But what the investigator did not get, and what the public have not gotten to notice yet, within that thing, they had never talked anything about cocaine. Now, I think the prosecutor will have to present that particular part in the tape that they talk about cocaine, because if a transaction went and we on the case of cocaine and was never mentioned into that tape, how come for them to how will they verify that these people are talking about drug business? Now they go back to the two foreigners that they try to link with. The foreigners, I believe that they try to link with whatever information that they have on them. I don't think it constitutes that strong thing that Joel was part of this, because the charges that they put on, they said on her trafficking. Now, in recent time, the 19 million, the 300 million, so you all want to tell us in the late days that Joel Howard was part of that police escorting the drug to the safe house? This is a very serious question, because if that can be verified, then that means that all the information that have been given have been faulty, because we all know that the head of the patrol that was suspended, he was suspended because he got information that he transported the drug under syringe to a particular safe house. Who gave that instruction? Was it Joel Howard? So these are some of the things that I thought of from the day one, that they were going to have problems in adjudicating this particular case, because the fact remains is that the information that have been given is not right, and we're going to have a serious thing within the setting. That's what I have to say at this moment.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Dishu. Even though we have the entire, like I said, the quote, the rate of arrest with us here. So we'll go through this step by step, and just like all of you who are watching, help us also comment, have your own say today. But let's hear from Mr. Conner. Mr. Conner, this is interesting. If you have the rate of arrest, you can also be reading through. Some of you, if you don't have, just go on the internet, you will see the rate, in fact, the rate of arrest rather, that all these things circle around 2021, 2022. How come we talking about 2026 and we're talking about, and the rate is talking about 2021, 2022? Well, it's getting interesting. But Mr. Conner, what say you? This is interesting though.
Neighbor, The country is in a trying time. Like I said, let me say greetings to the followers, and it's good that people are paying attention. Liberia is in a trying time, and I'll just admonish the citizens. They should not allow themselves to be bamboozled. They should not allow themselves to be used as a pawn in a political game. You know, Mabel, I know a lot of the population of Liberia, they are younger generation, but we have a history in our country that past regimes employ certain strategy in our country that led up to the confusion and the chaos and the calamity in our country. You know, during the military regime, the government employed a strategy to continuously incriminate their opponent by constantly staging coups, attempted coups, and everything in our place. Over and over, maybe almost every time we used to wake up. So now you get attempted coup in our country maybe about 2 or 3 times a year. And not only that, people got arrested. A lot of people, maybe they don't even know, the very Madam Sktv, 1985, maybe she got elected as senator for Mosurata County in the election. And she decided not to take that seat because she felt that her party at the time, headed by Jackson F. Doe, which was the Liberian Action Party, got robbed of that election. So Madam Sktv refused to take that senatorial seat. I know my dear brother, she is fully aware of that. And the next thing that happened, there was an invasion, an abortive invasion in our country led by General Uwangba. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was one of those that got incarcerated by the Doe government under the auspices of Justice Minister Jenkins KZB Scott. If you see that Madam Sirleaf, when she ascended to the presidency of that nation, and she emphatically told the nation that her weakest problem was to forgive. That thing haunted Jenkins Scott until he died in a dump site in Liberia. Madam Sirleaf had to run away from our country under the darkness, under the cover of darkness. And she eventually became president. I say this to me that so for somebody to think that they will employ this kind of machination, this kind of behavior, to think that they will silence opposition, in this case, Madam Joy Howard Taylor, they are mistaken. We have seen this movie before. Maybe, I know maybe if you get the time, the charges in particular, I'm not talking about the entirety of the program, maybe you could just post it or maybe read a summary. I don't know how many charges in total, but to think that you're having the biggest drop box of that nation history, to leave it and then divert the entire nation's authority to circumstantial evidence, I would classify. Since 2001, 2002, and all the kind of thing. And for somebody getting on the phone, oh, madam, why you 10 power, or you know, our business will not continue, and all the kind of thing. And for people to buy that nonsense, it's sad. People, are you telling me that your current president that happened to receive gift from a convict? I'm not here to beat on Mr. Witherspoon and other people, but it's established that he's a convicted guy here in the United States. But equally so, the ego was learning for him to back out every time. So you're telling me that Mr. Barker should be part of that particular crime that this man committed here? Maybe what nation are we living in here? But again, this is just a complete disrespect to the people of Bong County and the citizens of Bong County. For a noble lady that have lived pretty consistently in our country for over 30 years now, served as a governor of the National Bank, served as the first lady, served as two-term senator, served as vice president, and you would tell the nation at the time her husband was president, she did not engage in drug trafficking. Now that she's no longer vice president, that's when she will engage in drug trafficking. What control has she? At the time, she had people of influence that she could influence them. The army of the nation, the ex-combatants, everything at her disposal. She didn't use that influence for those kind of behavior. People, for you to make the nation to believe that this is the case, people, it's troubling. Again, I go back. Your president, forget about all the other people that receive goodwill gesture from convicts. So are you telling me that Mr. Bwaka is part of that situation? But look, it's a sad thing. This is politically motivated. When in politics, maybe when they say they're trying to switch, they're trying to flip. Flip the switch. That's it here. So this is diversionary, and we will delve into it further. But I just wanted to lay the premise for this kind of discussion today.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Connor. Even though we have more judge joining us, but quickly, some of you, let me just read one or two paragraphs from the rate of arrest coming from the Monrovia City Court. Yes, indeed, from the Monrovia City Court. Sorry, the lines. In fact, even the entire read up a little bit is not easy. So they said Republic of Liberia to Captain Augustine Fuller, magistrate. Sorry, I'm not really seeing this. Deputy chief clerk and so forth. You know what I'm seeing here. But sorry, you are hereby commanded to arrest the living bodies or the living body of Joel Howard Taylor. And forth with her, bring her to the Monrovia City Court, Temple of Justice building, Massachusetts County, to answer the charges of importation of controlled drugs, unlicensed exportation of controlled drugs and substance, unlicensed sale, trading, in transit, and transportation of controlled substances, illicit trafficking, criminal conspiracy, criminal facilitation, and criminal facilitation, and based upon the oath and the complaint of the Republic of Liberia by and through the Ministry of Justice 24, in which it is substantially alleged as follows to wait. So I just want to stop here and welcome more friends. Then we'll go to maybe to another one and see, because they talk about that in 2021. So they said quickly before more come on is more quickly before come on is said that in 2021 Sheikh Bashiru Kanti brought to Liberia Taris Zariku, Alas Tony, and Mambovi Vovek, Alas Michael. While the two foreign nationals were in Liberia, they conspired with Sheikh Bashiru Kanti to import and export cocaine in and out of Liberia to Europe. Well, let me welcome more first, then we'll go more into that. But Mark, good evening and welcome.
What's up, brother? What's going on? And hi to the listening audience. Another day of being Sktv. At least I got like an hour and a half to spare here before making my run. I just thought to chime in today. Well, I'm following all the latest happening in the country, especially with the trending news concerning the vice president. You know, I told you from the one I said it's politics. Politics is dynamics, and politics is not about reality. It's about perception in the code of public opinion. If you can win the code of public opinion and how people perceive things to be, then you are in good shape in politics. You know, I tell you, Melbourne, I say optics is everything. They say why the eye sees, the ear hears, the mind believes. Yeah, United Party you are dealing with, You know what it means to look at a former vice president parading her in the street related to cocaine charges? That's psychological, that mental, that's what they call game theory. It's fair game in politics. When you are elected, they give you that executive power or that constitutional power to lead the state. You can call it witch hunt, you can play the politics all you want, but at the end of the day, like I said, in the code of public opinion, it's what people perceive to be happening. And Unity Party believe that they are in the right here when it comes to fighting the illicit pouring of drugs into the country. And I woke up the morning, I saw a post from Seku that he supports fairness and transparency, investigation, but other people are walking scot-free. The one thing I want you to know, Seku has said, if you think the people that are in power are going to investigate themselves, then you are living in a utopian universe. That's wishful thinking, that blind optimism. It won't happen. United Party people, I've already told you before, when it comes to whether it's corruption charges, whether it's about the issue of border security or the targeting of political enemies or their opponent, they believe that if you can take power, 2029, then come and do the same. But until then, they will execute their mandate or the political power that they are giving. That's exactly what they are doing. You know, they say elections have consequences. I saw it in the greatest country in the world that take pride in calling himself the bastion of democracy in America, wherein a former president, I'm talking about vice president, wherein political operatives were able to look at campaign finance violation and manufacture 37 felonies, that the president of the United States took a mock shot. Why do you think they were doing it? They knew he was not guilty of a crime, but that optics, that fair game in politics, when you are giving power, sometimes people abuse power. If they think it's going to play to their advantage in the long run, they will use it. United Party is making a move for 2029. So you can argue all you want. You can call it political witch hunt. You can call it targeting your opponent or your enemies. At the end of the day, they believe in the code of public opinion. They are doing the right thing. And that's why you see Happy with Joe Howard. I told you, maybe before we get to 2029, because some of the allegations now, people say, oh, there are no evidence, but now the people are giving you proof. They are giving you witness testimony. They are giving you the amount that was disbursed. They are talking about traveling document to support their claim. How can you make the case again about no proof? What I will tell you on the show, I can tell every Liberian listening or tune into SKTV, George Weah is the target. And there are people that are sinking behind the scene. I told you from day one, that simple judicial process. When you want the big fish, you go for the smaller fish, you slap their wrist, and you make them to sink beyond closed door. That's why I told you the whole thing about President Weah staging your protest. I was like, you might as well start lawyering up and start looking ahead. The whole protesting won't do you any better. If they're coming for the second in command, who is most likely to be the next president in line? It might be the former president, because they have seen it before, they have played before. The one thing I said on the show the last time I came here, I said, President Weah doesn't have presidential immunity when you walk out of the office. That immunity is gone. He's a private citizen with a formal title called former president. He's a regular Irish citizen. It means he's not immune or insulated from any crime or arrest. It's not like when you are in office, it's a whole different ballgame. So, like I said, at the end of the day, this Unity Party know exactly who they are targeting.
Are you talking about Mark? Mm-hmm. Mark, are you talking about the article? I think is that article 61. I think then we got to read it over to our people so that, because some of our people, they are a bit confused. So if you have it there quickly, then I'll go back to that article. Even though like the article that you're talking about, it confused all of us. If I read that here on the show here, Mr. Connor, maybe that day you were not here, and we're also talking about to revisit some of these things in the constitution. But I think it gave all of them the power. Even Manasseh today, because Manasseh quickly, I didn't cut you off. Please, I don't want to talk about anything, because Manasseh took responsibility of her son, taking I think almost I don't know how many $1 million, and today she still everything is still free, she's still passing around. So that means that particular part of that constitution, I don't want to talk about something. Mm-hmm. That particular part of that constitution, whether you in power or you out of power, it still protects you. I think so. I don't want to just make that correction. So if you there quickly, myself, I'm trying to go, but go ahead. Sorry, I don't want.
Well, let me tell you something. I used to buy into that same idea. That's why I keep telling people, when you want to understand the Liberian Constitution, they got to read the U.S. Constitution, because 90% of all the countries around the world, it might not be war for war, but it's almost the same constitutional framework that governs every other country when it comes to constitutional law. And constitutional law is an opinion. You are trying to read into the framer's mind. I always had that belief that president had blanket immunity, but no. When the case happened here in the U.S. about it, I mentioned it one time about the Supreme Court ruling. They said the Supreme Court, did the former president have absolute immunity for core constitutional power and presumptive immunity from official act, but no immunity for private act, rejecting the claim that a prior congressional impeachment conviction is recorded before a criminal prosecution. So what they are saying, that whole thing, I knew that somebody would test that law in the Liberian law when it comes to the Constitution about presidential immunity, because you don't have immunity for for act outside of your official duties. So technically, if you want to make the case that president are immune from any crime, you're telling me that I can walk into the executive mansion, become president, go and sell drugs, I will be able to walk scot-free because I have presidential immunity. That's a lie. That's not how it's interpreted. When you take an official act as president while in office, you have immunity, not for official act. And the power of the president is defined by the Constitution. Yeah, we call it the Article 2 power. So the whole idea that president can do anything and just walk scot-free, that he got forever immunity, that's a lie. It's not true. And I know the Unity Party folks, they will put it to a test and there will be some kind of interpretation, maybe in official Supreme Court case. So I just want to make that clear to the listener that the whole idea that president have absolute immunity, even during and after office, is a blatant lie. That's not how it works. They say for official act that will execute during your time in office, that's where you get presumptive and absolute immunity from your constitutional power. The meaning, when you take decision in office, they cannot prosecute you based on your action or your decision you make within your constitutional limit. It's not that you can just walk into office, you can steal, you can embezzle, you can sell drugs, and somehow you are free from prosecution. No. But anyway, I'll stop there for now. The rest of the folks can take it up. I just want to make
thank you. Even though I follow, thank you. I follow some of the in fact, quickly before other people come on, myself, I have my own take on some of the things, but I wanted to ask you one or two questions because from everything you just said, I think yes, it's all right. But again, I have one or two questions to ask you before other people come on. But I talk about, in fact, this keep running in my mind about how when people are into positions, the way they treat people. And like you said, that similar thing also happened to Donald Trump. And at the end of the day, Donald Trump become president. I'm not saying, or I'm not insinuating that the same thing will happen. No. But what I'm saying in short is that sometimes, Mark, you can be thinking that politically you are winning. But sometimes, Mark, negatively, it can easily go against you because, mind you, there are sympathy votes. There are other people out there today, like for example, even when they issue of the former Chief Justice, Councilor Moses Scout situation, right? There are other people that fell in sympathy with all. Hold
on with that. Before you continue, I'm not trying to cut you off yet because you mentioned the Article 61. Yeah. Let me just read it for the audience, and then you can take it from there. Then you can end your thought. I just want to get that clear before we can move on to something else, right? There is what Article 61 of the Constitution said. The president shall be immune from any suit, action, or proceedings, judicial or otherwise, and from arrest, detention, or other action on account of any act done by him while president of the Bureau pursuant to any provision of the Constitution or any other law of the Republic. The president shall not, however, be immune from prosecution upon removal from office for the commission or any criminal act done while president. That's why it says here. But anyway, go ahead. We are not trying to get to the Constitution after you do. You go ahead. I just want to read that.
Yes, no, wonderful. I just wonder our people, because sometimes these are kind of a preconceived mind that they have, and you're right to also bring that out. So for me, Mark, what are this is politics? Okay, let's just assume that you are already saying that yes, maybe the Unity Party, maybe they are playing politics, and yes, whether maybe it's politics or not, most of their people or their supporters or people that joined the Unity Party during the 2023 elections, their purpose was to see Liberia getting better. Some of them, their purpose was for the judicial system to be better, for things, for the rule of law, everything to be better. Not for the rule of law to be like pick and choose the same thing that they saw yesterday. No. So if this is politics that you are claiming now, then I don't think that would be a good politics for the government because this may also cause serious trouble for the government, because if the government is not careful, like for example, with all the churches, now when you go back to all the churches, 2021, 2022, and what happened if the former vice president come out and walk maybe free? Then what's going to happen? That means, quote unquote, the lie on the woman, or maybe the lie on the former vice president, and they may likely lose vote for that. So for me, I don't think that would be good. If they are doing it for politics, then that's not the right way to go. I think the right thing that maybe some of their supporters want is for the right thing to be done. You can't leave people like Biako. Like for example, you can't leave people like Biako who also received gifts from the same cartel and were glaring, and in fact, it was posted. People saw it. In fact, Biako even recuses himself. And at the end of the day, the president also had to have him dismissed. But today, where is Biako? Biako is still passing around, enjoying all the free life and moving freely. But just because of political witch hunt, allegedly that you are saying now, so they have to, all other people, but let's move back. Mr. Tishu, let me ask you this question. I will come back to Monk because Monk been talking. Mr. Tishu, with the issue of witch hunt or in fact political party or in fact political tactics, then Monk just said, because Monk just open everything and Monk anything and Monk just make everything clear that yes, this is politics. If people do not care about reality. But Mr. Tishu, what say you with this? Because this is interesting. Mr. Tishu?
I think
all right, then AB, then you can take over, my brother. What say you? Because this is interesting with entire politics now. Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe, there are a few things here among talk about, and my take on it, especially in the case of President Trump. President Trump was prosecuted by a state in the United States. In this case, New York. Okay, he was not prosecuted by the federal government, so to speak, from my understanding. I stand corrected. That's one. And two, a lot of the things that they talk about, especially receiving gifts, just for the sake of this argument. In the United States, what happened with political figures, if you get donations from individuals, only at the end of the day to realize that they are shady characters. They have not committed crime. The only thing they can do, maybe sometimes people will either return those donations, or they in turn donate it to some charitable organizations, and so on and so forth. Because it's not written on anybody's face here. You will never see drug written on anybody's face. Just for the sake of this argument now. I'm not, let's forget about what her lawyers will put together in defense. So to talk about, she went somewhere and they gave money for her charity, but the question there is that you find out whether indeed those checks were written or donations were made to charity. That's one. Two, they were only asked her maybe to give those things there. She did not commit a crime. Now, the problem here is that they talk about, she was trafficking, importing and distributing illicit drugs. Those are things that they will have to prove. Secondly, the people they're talking about, have they prosecuted those people in the court of law in Liberia to find them guilty of a crime? The Sktv or whatever they're talking about. To the best of my understanding, no. So then the question there is that if you spoke to those people there, you have not prosecuted those people yet to find them guilty. Maybe Mon got another take on it, I don't know, or he got different honest. Yes, but to the best of my knowledge, maybe those people are not being prosecuted in your court of law here to be found guilty. So what are you saying? Even if you prosecuted people and they are free, so does it mean that you hold Joe responsible for them giving her money for her charity? So those are the kind of things. But for me, the thing I'm talking about, it's politically driven, granted. Because if you have the highest drug bust in your country, it's no longer a priority for you now, but rather people that were in power for years in that country, and now they have left power 3 years ago, and you come after they say, they talk to this person, they went to meeting with this person. The only thing is that if they can prove that Joel or anybody in the business of directly importing drugs and distributing, yeah, it had to be proven in court. But again, I don't trust this system because this is a same system that told all that the fire outburst at the Capitol building. They had geospatial evidence. They had everything to nail those people. They went to court. Even the investigation done by the people, the experts from Minnesota here, maybe they never produced anything in court. They never produced anything. When they found out that the case, they were losing the case. They aborted that case. They say, oh no, they will find a new venue and for retry. Up to today, that case still hanging. That's the same thing. Lastly, maybe the very defender, the very lawyer, one of the lawyers for Madam Taylor now, in the case of Tabin and Johnny, had a defendant in court that was under the authority of the court. The very government took that person from the court and turned it over to a government, a dictatorial government today, and nothing has happened for that. So I don't trust the judicial system here, but I want to look at the facts and issues, Maybon, and what they are laying out here for me. They are much more circumstantial.
Yes, I can.
All right, thank you, Mr. Corner. Mr. Tishu, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I guess that you listen to the question, and go ahead.
I think Monk laid the premise, and I think these are things that we have all been thinking in that direction, that this thing was politically motivated. Look, let me say this. As a former investigator, I would have never thought in this range of looking at facts in 2026, things on hand, things that we are talking about, to manufacture or move from 2021 to 22 to link it with now drug business, I think is untraceable in the sense that linking up somebody with a fact that we have certain things right now, I don't see the link in 2021, 2022 with 2026 operation that is going on now. So you want to tell me that the whole investigation that has been going on, it had only been the vice president that they have been waiting for to put out as a big name to close up the investigation? What happened to all the other officers then that were suspended, or some of them released from their position, and they had not been called to court hearing, nothing like that? This directly tell you that this is political game. Like Monk said, the perception is that if a vice president from the CDC government is indicted, 2029, that was the message from the now ruling government. That would be the message: drug dealer, drug dealer. And once you hit that on the scene, you know that drug minds are very vulnerable. Those that will take out that perception that what the party is saying is true, we're going to have chaos in the end of our election in 2029. And I see the problem starting now. Because if the Unity Party is trying to find defense right now for what is happening, that we all can see vividly that particular link between 2021, 2022, it doesn't link with this 2026 operation that is going on. No way. But they are trying to force it in the sense that it will be make-believe in the minds of the grown people that these things have been happening. But the question will come to mind is that the drug, the $300 million worth drug, was it Joel that gave the order of it being transported to the safe house? Is it Joel the one that did they have proof of Joel bringing in the drug? They have some link to her bringing in the drug. Do you think that I think the charges that they put on Joel, I don't think that the government can defend them. It's a wild goose case at this particular time. They're hoping that the court will help them. I don't think that those charges, uh, I don't the charges that they have put on her. I don't think that they can find evidence to back it in the court. So the fact with me is that they're going to have serious problem. The twist and turn of this particular case has gone in the wrong direction. Because once you're taking the case from the real objective of us trying to find out how the drug came into our country and who owns the drug, to change it to a political game, I think that it's going to be bad for them because the public perception at this particular time, like I said at the beginning of this case, was the media, the public versus the government. And that is what is happening right now. So if they're playing their part through the propaganda machinery to try to upset the people's mind from this particular case, I think they got a long way to go because we are into it also. Everybody is talking about it. They will have to bring your proof. So until then, only the court that they are depending on right now. And like we said, we are seeing a lot of cases that have gone to that court and have been turned around. You see the right going wrong and the wrong going right. And our country is a country that is lawless at this particular time. Only certain individuals get the privilege of, and that deserve patronage of the court. So if you are not part of that elite system that will get those kind of good fit from the court, you fall inside, and that's what is happening now. So the whole thing is politically motivated. I agree with Mark 100%.
Hello? Everyone, you going for a break or we stay on?
Go ahead, Monk. Maybe the same question, and also there'll be follow-up question to you, Monk, about the issue of gift. Maybe the weather will be coming through, and the issue of also the former LDA boss who are quote unquote suspended or if I put aside by the president, and also that allegedly received gift and so on. But go ahead.
You know, for me, I love repeating myself. I love sounding like a broken record because for me, I love to set a pattern. You know, we all hope for fairness. You all want transparency. That's why you want from the voter. That's why you want from elected officials. But then when you are given power, it becomes a whole different thing. Power got a way of corrupting people, right? And no matter what you do, politics will always take center stage. Even if you pretend like it's not politics, the first interpretation, people will see it from the lens of politics. When you go to, you know, I'm seeing the same trend, whether you are with the removal of an article for that, what I keep telling you guys, politics will always beat the constitution. The reason politics will beat the constitution because constitution, they are just written words. You cannot go and change them. Matter of fact, even the interpretation of constitutional law is still kind of opinion. It's not a fact. It's like you are trying to read into the mind of people that wrote a document 200 years ago. You cannot read people's mind. You cannot tell their intent. But with politics, it's dynamic. It's constantly shifting. New variables coming in. People got power dynamics. They're looking at public opinion. So politics is a very dynamic thing. That's why I told you guys from day one. What if Konatikova go up or down, you are going to be removed. And guess what happened? They used the same law against him. Let me tell you something, Mabel. When you go to the crux of this particular argument with the vice president, the premise Unity Party folks are trying to establish is CDC is the underlying condition. Unity Party is just the symptom when it comes to drugs. Because that's why they went back to 2020, 2021, 2022. They are saying there was certain framework that were put in place years back that today we are seeing the cascading effect. So when drugs come to the country on a Unity Party was not the architect. CDC is the architect, but it only happens on Unity Party watch. That's the premise they are trying to establish from the whole case. So it's not about what you did 2 years ago or 4 years ago. They are telling you the reason drugs is pouring into the country at an unprecedented level were some of the deals and transactions you put into place 4, 5, 3 years ago. That's what they are trying to, and that's what the public is buying into. So I keep telling you, Melbourne, you can call it politics. Unity Party people are seeing it from one angle. Do you know what it means when the average man walking the street, the pimping ride or the keke ride or the market women, see a former vice president being escorted to a state prison? The first interpretation would be like, "This is unprecedented. We have never seen anything like this before. Joseph Boaga is out for business." Because in this country, we have never seen someone from the echelon of power, I mean the highest office, being paraded in the street, I would say, over the past 40 or 45 years. Who did it first? Joseph Boaga. Well, the evidence will come later. That's why I keep telling you, perception will always beat reality in politics. Whether Joel Howard Taylor will be vindicated, the fact of the matter is actually on display for the whole world to see the image, the pictorial evidences. My brother, in the court of popular opinion, you cannot beat that. And Unity Party believe that even if they go and give her a fair trial, even when the evidence is proved she's vindicated, how do you think the average person in the street going to interpret seeing the former vice president in handcuffs being paraded on the streets, going to a state prison? It's a win for Unity Party politically, and that's exactly what they are doing. They could care less about how you interpret it, whether you think it's about politics. No, for them, they think they are putting political points on the board, and at the end of the day, that's what matters.
Listen, Monk. To that point, I will differ with you in the sense that Judy Bryant got incarcerated. He got convicted. He was an interim president of that nation. He took that country to election, in fact. He was incarcerated. That man could not even survive for nothing until he finally died. So it have happened over there before.
Secondly, the key word is interim. That's a whole different. Those are whole different.
No. I mean, what I'm saying, the head of the nation or whatever it is. Okay, yeah, you are right. That it was an interim, but my problem here is this: even in the United States, what prepared Mr. Trump for the second term again is one of those kind of politically motivated trial that he underwent here. It kind of angst up people to the point that the Joe Biden administration found it very difficult. Despite the fact it was not prosecuted under the federal law, I mean, so to speak, but rather by a state. But it became a cascading effect on the government. So they can how they call it, drag Mother Howard Taylor all over the place, whatever they want to do. If they think that it will help, mind you, just 2 days ago, there was an opinion poll on their favorite station, especially from Liberia. And the citizenry were not buying whatever they were selling to them right now. So they can go ahead, because definitely with the advent of social media, people are not fools. You must get the power now to do anything, but they will not easily buy them from you like that. Because why? Everybody involved now politically in terms of the information dissemination that you can get it from anywhere, and people will not allow it to just get it. Listen, you cannot have a current situation unveiling in the country, and you go completely, and then you try to bamboozle the people's mind to say, oh yeah, because we got political motive here, we'll go grab somebody and parade it all. This was the kids that wanted to do it too. Put cars on your head all over the place and dragging around for a display. But the other people were not bad enough, Mom and Mabel. So I wanted to differ with that. And then in the United States, just today we got Mr. Trump for the second term. One of the major things that drove the anger of people to vote for Mr. Trump was the kind of bogus trial that he went through in New York. So yes, they can portray her any kind of way they want to, or they can even go after leaders any kind of way they want to. But the electors will understand where you're going, because at the end of the day, if you set this precedent, trust me, it become a history that people will repeat against you, regardless of whatever situation you find yourself subsequently. Today, you got Lufa County with a $10 billion project. Up to now, you're not telling anybody. You think what Bugger Lee of it, people are going to clap their hand for him? They will prosecute him for those things.
Let me just follow up, AB.
Mom, wait, let me just give an addition to what Abraham is saying. Mom, we believe the whole thing is politically motivated. But Abraham is giving a point that with all of what is happening, I came up from the conspiracy point. You came up from the political point. Abraham is coming up from a point that the humanitarian gesture of this particular case will go against the ruling party. And all together are right in one way or the other. But what I want to add on to this is that I don't think that this is going to help the Unity Party government in the coming election. Because from my angle of conspiracy, the Liberian people have gotten to know now that this is a conspiracy being put on somebody. Oh yes, they are in the lead right now. The partisans, the one that are going out there and doing the cheering. But they got a lot of silent people also that are more than those doing the cheering. Those are the ones that are going to make the decisions. Those are the ones that are thinking about the conspiracy theory that's been put out. Those are the ones that from a ministry of transport, the whole family were put out. 400 persons were sacked to give leverage to a particular company that they would be compensated from. You understand, man? With all the facts being given, the houses that were broken down, I think the Unity Party got a lot of fight. They have changed the trajectory of this into a matter of them being in the lead or whatever they're going to say to the public. That is why they brought into this Joe Howard Taylor thing, with this linking it with the drug business. And so far, I have not seen any linkage because El Boswa or the Sheikh man who they claim that was supposed to bring cocaine along with Joe had not been arrested or not arrested. It tells you that this conspiracy is just opened up and it's so stupid in the sense that anybody can read in between the lines. The government took the wrong move of going after Joel because going after her with those charges that we're hearing, you know yourself, Mom, you think that those people can produce the evidence of what they're saying the woman was facilitating, transporting, money laundering. They got a long way to go. So I don't know why they went into this area. They also have continued into what they had before, but they could not continue because the IG is the protector and shielder of all the big hands that are in it, and they have warned him. Those words that he used to the Senate, saying current government officials are part of it, and Amika, and he changed it to past. These are things that some people have studied and gone into it because that is why I pick up my own point from. You cannot say present, and when you come to another side, you say past, then you jump on the past and left the present off. We all know this is politically motivated, like you said, and I think we got a long way to go into this case because even if she adjudicated from this particular case, that is why the Unity Party is fighting to keep her in that range of silence so the public will have the perception that this woman is actually a drug dealer. You know, they will keep up to that particular point for quite a while, the news media, all the different outlets to carry it. They're testing the scene to see whether the public will accept it or not. And I tell you, the public is not accepting it because the conspiracy that they set up, they put it on the wrong person at that particular time, knowing the fact that they were not going to get much evidence, but they did do a character damage on her that she will not be able to be fit to be somebody to recognize as a running mate for the next presidential election. That's how I see it.
Let me follow up to AB point because I think he made a very clear comparison. AB, there is no political strategy that is 100% guaranteed to be a winner. Every decision you make in politics carries its own downsides and risk factor. You make a comparison with what we saw in the US here versus what's happening in Liberia. At the end of the day, like I said, it's politics. Unity Party is taking a calculated risk. They could be wrong, but it's up to the voter 3 years from now to make that decision, like what we saw in America here. In America, the average person knew just by watching the news, there's an enlightened society. I'm not going to compare Liberia to America in any way, shape, or form. The moment I saw the state of New York, the state of Arizona, the state of Georgia bringing those frivolous charges against a former president, talking about he committed 37 felonies. The average voter say, you know what? We know this thing. Even the Democrats themselves do that. It was all politics. But like I said, in the case of Liberia, it's a whole different ball game. United Party is taking a calculated rate. They believe that will pay dividend in the future. It's up to the voter to say, you know what? We can read between the lines, but we'll see what happens in 2029. They're the one who will be the final arbiter of that particular case. They're the one who will be the law enforcement officer that will send a resounding message to the Bwakale administration when it comes to whether they are playing politics, whether they are skewing the laws, whether they are playing games with the Liberian people. But like I said, and you the one brought this point. That's why Kamala Harris received the worst flogging in presidential politics since Walter Mondale against Reagan in 1984. Because the American knew that whatsoever they were doing, it was all a charade, and they were abusing their power under the
That's the point. It's possible, yeah.
So there is possibility that the voters will turn their righteous anger toward the Bwakale administration, but I'm not placing my bet on that because I will tell you again, Liberia is not the U.S. I saw it with Fananti Kofa case. I saw it with Yega Koluba. Yega Koluba, one of the most vocal advocates that can appeal to everyone beyond party line, irrespective of which party you supported. But guess what? When it came to the politics, everybody ignored the president. As we're talking about dereliction of duty, where in a foreign country can occupy or land and hosted a flag on your soil. Who became the victim? Yega Koluba. Why is the righteous anger from the public? Zero. So
no. Listen, Mon, you are right. Mon, you are right. Before maybe you go, I know.
Yes.
Maybe before you come in real quick, just 30 seconds. Mon, you are right on that in terms of, it be two political scenario or two different countries. Granted. But, with the advent of social media and everything else, because we follow this thing on a daily basis, the fact that we're talking about it, even here today again, it is, Mon, you open the lines, you're going to hear from the people. You're going to hear their resentment. I know some of us, the people that they are, how do you call it? They are oppositions and blah, blah, blah. I know, right? But the idea is people are open. Mon, a lot of the things that happened to the previous government and even the Ellen government and other people, it became like a transfer aggressions. People got angry for certain things. Like, for instance, there was a sector of Liberia that were angry as far back as the Cabinet Journey case. And they took that anger to the Bibles. So they're not going to express it to you, Mom. But indeed, people are very okram now, regardless of their educational level in Liberia. People are glued. Mom, if you go to Liberia nowadays, even in the market, the people they'll put data on their phone to listen to day-to-day politics. They will go in the interior. If they can't access internet service, they will listen to radio. Now, right now, on the radio, people are listening to some of those things. And that anger would transform translate into their vote more. So you are right on it to say, yeah, there are two different scenarios, but equally, you cannot, especially a prominent person I told you, I laid the premise, the individual they're talking about here. The history of this person. This person had a husband who was president. They had no history of drug trafficking. Now that they don't have power, and you try to link them to the place. I'm not disputing the fact that anybody could give me Abraham kind of money. It's not written on your face that you're a drug trafficker. If it's established that you're a drug trafficker, and then I got that money, I would donate it to something bad. So, I don't want to be aligned with this person. I don't want to be aligned with Monk because here are his characters. Granted for that. But the thing that you're going to use, you're going to weaponize that. Because if you weaponize that, the only way we'll get to our political opponent, Monk, is by incriminating it this way. Samuel Doe did die, Mom. The very Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, 1985. Doe incarcerated this woman until she ran away from our country. And she won election as a senator because she refused to take that seat. When the 1985 Cuba invasion happened, they incarcerated her. Those were one of the things that even led to her being so angry with the former justice minister on that man dying in the dumpster. So the historians are there, Mom. They can continue doing what they want to do. They got power now.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Conner, and let me say thank you to all of you. Mark, I sit back and really, really enjoy the entire conversation. That's good. For me, all of you are saying the politics, the everything here and there. Our people, they need to know the real truth. And the real truth is, whosoever person maybe they're found guilty or not, let the people know exactly as to where we're heading to as a country and what. So for me, with the political aspect, I'm not talking about, oh yeah, Yeke Koluba was, yeah, and then standing up and nobody was around Yeke Koluba. Yeah, Monk, may be right. But sometimes there are some changes. If you observe 2025 elections, 2020 election, in fact, sorry, 2011 election were far different from 2005 election, rather, sorry. So 2017 election was different from 2011 elections. So there are a lot of changes. Every time there are changes. Sometimes there are silent voters. Monk. There are people who are watching and listening to us. In fact, they don't even call. Some of them, they only text something after the show. They maybe not thank you so much. We follow it. Even into the government entities, there are other people that are also watching and following, but they're not talking and they're not posting. It doesn't mean that maybe that they are happy. No. So sometimes I will agree that politics will come and people may not stand by you just because maybe you were into same situation. No. That, for example, Sifina Bono quite recently, what happened? When she was in jail, when she was, in fact, when she got released, people went to her and people also went for her. So I think that's another sign of showing some loyalty, support, and so forth. But let me say this to our government, because from everything I've been reading here back to back, for me, if they're for the money, quote unquote, as they say, the gift. Even my own president, my deacon, I've been receiving gifts on numerous occasions, even on talk shows. So you don't know where the gift come from? Who are those people that gave you money until, like you said, Mr. Connor, if it is proven that they can improve some of what we want to see, then you will see obstructing. If, like, for example, the way they in fact, the other drugs, I think the 317 million worth of drugs was arrested in some kind of apartments. If in fact, one of our apartments or homes or so forth, there were drugs seized, then there's no case here. But this time, you're not going to hear or talk anymore. The only thing I will be saying, yes, let's go and sell for 10 or maybe or 10 or so forth. But to say because the woman received gift, I still see even some people posting or charity organization, even the religious people that receive gift.
Well, that's one
the religious people.
Go ahead, Mabel. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
the religious people.
Go. Sorry. Go. In your thought, brother.
So I come in quickly. Yeah, more quickly. The religious people are the kind of group of people that are always receiving gifts. In fact, they don't care where the gift coming from. For the religious people to the marketeers, to our poor people out there, they always receiving food item, always receiving all kinds of gifts. So should we have issue with people that are receiving gifts? So that the issue of receiving gifts or things are not becoming order of the day. They are not think we're ready to fight the issue of drugs. Because more quickly before you come in, that's why I'm always saying here for me, I like the way Donald Trump fighting drugs. They tell you that in America there's nobody there that have connection with the people that are bringing drugs, or maybe they're carrying drugs in America. No, there are a lot of people there, but Donald Trump choose to not waste your time. Go look for another person who have a connection with another. That waste of time. The only thing now our government can do more quickly, my dear brother, revamp the security network. And then the person come up with a very strong warning and statement towards the security. Because even a man or a driver teller will go tell security officer that open the border and then the drugs come in. Anyway, and I do it for us. Every little thing we do politics and play politics and so forth. So at the end of the day, we will not get no good result.
Oh,
the
yes.
whole entire drugs business I will end more. Why, my brother?
Everybody will always take side because of politics. That's why I keep telling you, this Labrador is not America. I can place my bet. You know, the thing I keep telling folks is not that everybody in America is smart or is some genius. The difference is, in an industrialized society, the people that know what's up, they are in an overwhelming majority. They got stupid people, but they are very small in number. In the case of Liberia, the tribal sentiment, the political sentiment, the defending the party mandate, all the things, I know they will always split the country. Now, the people who are for Bwaga, even if Bwaga is doing the wrong thing, they will still support him. When it was CDC time, the people who are against CDC, they will say, oh, the president abused the constitution. That's what will happen in Liberia. So I'm not placing my bet. And that's why I keep telling you, politics will always trump the constitution. The reason I keep saying that, like I said, if you live in this country, maybe when you see most of these cases and you observe the political dynamics there, you will learn a lot. You know why I give all right? In this country, the president is the chief executive. He's the one that to execute when it comes to the law enforcement arm of the government, the chief executive. Do you know, because of politics, federal judges, when the president is taking action, they are where judges in America, the people who should be dispensing justice and interpreting the law, they are where they themselves can play politics based on who appointed them to be a federal judge. When they want to hinder the president from executing executive function, do you know what they do? They file something they call an injunction, a federal injunction. A federal injunction means when the president is taking steps to execute his executive duties, you can put a stop to it or you put it on hold. Because they understand that when you file a federal injunction, it takes time before it gets to the Supreme Court. And they know that president are only in office for 4 years. So let's assume a president is in power. Let's say a Republican president, and you got more than 61 federal injunction filed from all over the country from federal judges. Those judges knew that what the president is doing is not illegal. But you know what? They are only trying to limit him. They are trying to slow him down, which is politics. They could care less. That's why I keep telling people, they continue. Who gave a rat about constitution? It's just on the board to give you an impression that, you know what, we got laws. But when it comes to the execution of that same constitution, which one you think will take a preeminence over the other? The politics. Because like I said, politics is ever changing, it's ever moving. It takes so many different moving parts to interpret politics as opposed to the constitution. So even in the great America, the same federal judges and lawyers, they can play politics. And the vast majority of the time, who you think will be filing those injunctions? When the Republican president is in power, 90% of the injunction will come from a Democrat federal judge. When a Democrat is in power, who do you think is going to file injunction? Republican. So
exactly.
Our politics for anything. Politics will always be the constitution every day of the week. So when people say, oh, we want the law, we want transparency, I say, my brother, the people who are in the position of power, they won't come after themselves and their allies. The problem is up to the Liberian voter to keep taking their notes down so that when the next election cycle comes, they can prosecute and pay back people that abuse the law. But if you then you are living in fantasy. You only make your request no at the ballot box and nothing more than that. That's all you can do.
Yes, and indeed, Mark, and they are the real jurors. Let me be frank. The Liberian people elect them for that. Like maybe like Mr. Conan said about cabinet journal issues here and there. Yes, Liberian watches the show. They sit back and say, okay, no problem. CDC, like, you can do anything that you want to do. Anything that pleases you, it's up to you. But we'll meet at the ballot box. Some of you can be taking anything like a joke. And not only I want to get voting card, and not only I want to have this. I'm telling you, Mom. And most of the people, because most of the people, they feel that because quote unquote that they are connected to maybe one or two persons from the government side, so they will do everything possible to low down on, even if the law is bending. So that, for example, Mona, you said, let's go back to Biako. Where is Biako? Who? After information came out that in fact that Biako was also seen with a gift from the cartel. And because of that, Biako had to recuse himself. And furthermore, the president had to even have been dismissed. Or in fact, step down from the LDA. Okay, Biako is also pending. What happened to my own deacon son? The man who also said, oh yes, there was a Colombian number. Look, they country for all Liberians. They will not do law, the more saying, if we do politics, well, they're not politics. But to admit, and now how you do law, like thing they want to do, but again, we want to even persecute themselves, the more saying.
They won't.
So these things, there's no need for all of you wasting our time. Because if the president's son stay up to now, he can't even be called as person of interest. Then no need. So, Mark, that's it. You may be right. The politics is not becoming all of the day. So that you're continuing to be playing politics with our with our
that's
life.
what will keep happening.
And the 6 years, Mark, Logically, if you even see the 6 years of Madiko now, Monk, it's almost going into half. And nothing to even show body deep. Like you are saying, Monk, if you listen to their supporters, oh yes, the government, in fact, the country is not like before. The country is moving forward. Where is the job? No job. We're still crying for the data issues, for the issue of costs. Costs are still getting expired. Things stay the same. But again, when you talk, then you are saying more, they will come after you, they'll be hitting you. But Mr. Tishu, let me hear from you about the president's son and also the dismissed LDA boss, because even though you were at him, the ORC Biako that also received gift, because they gifting now are becoming all of the day, because we're going far back at 2021, 2022. The entire arrest or rate of arrest that carrying the president, in fact, the former vice president to jail, and that of the charges, everything far back 2021, 2022. How come now it coming to 2026? But Mr. Tishu, let hear from you before going to the land to hear from our people.
The other man side of the whole particular case, I've been talking about the conspiracy side of it. Everybody has laid out their facts, but what I see in between the lines of what is happening, I gave him proof that the IG is protecting himself and protecting the elite within the country. Those who gave him the job and those who protecting him and he protecting them. That is a game that's being played right now. Because if we have serious investigators, an independent investigation into this, you'll find out that there is no link at this particular time, present time, except they can produce it between 2021, 2022, and they're present 317
I think the only link of quickly the issue, I think the only link is something around, I don't know, 5,000 or 10,000 that she received, I think, in August. I think that's the only thing that I come
across. That is when they force it.
Okay, good.
That is when they force it on her. Yeah, the woman is innocent if you actually look into this. This is a game that is being played on the outside against her. And she fell right into the trap. Because the person that the government got to give the information on her is supposed to be one of those that is supposed to be transporting drugs into our country. And if the country could use him, the investigators could use him as somebody of interest, then he's supposed to be going to court the same way all the others are going to court. But if they're using him as a conduit to get to the woman, and I don't know how they're going to do that in the investigation, because he will be part of it and he will have to explain. But he will go there and explain why, because he has been protected by the government on other accusations against him. So this is a game that she fell into, went on the telephone and started to talk. Not known rather, that the investigators and this particular individual was at one point in the game room rather, made him to make a call to her, question her about 2021, 2022 to refresh her memory into the investigation, and further her to the point that whatever she was going to get as a nation or whatever it is, in recent time, he coordinated by telling her, oh, the person that was supposed to give you a so amount, the person will be in Liberia. And this amount will be given to you and all of that. So definitely, she will, consent to such a kind of thing, because she didn't know it was drug business. From the beginning, she knew that these people have been supporting her foundation. And to link up into this is where they went to link up and they tried to prove this to the people that this woman is into trafficking she into this and she into that. Well, we're all waiting to see the evidence being produced because unlikely, I don't think that they have anything much, only the scene, but only the charges, but I don't think that they have the evidence. That's what I have to say.
All right, thank you. Yeah,
You know,
yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
I know
Mr.
you want
Conan,
to go
please
to the
let
line.
manage the time. Yeah,
Yeah,
please
yeah,
let
you want to
manage
go
the
to the
time.
line real quick, maybe. You know, look, maybe if you even listen to what my brother was talking about, and then you listen to the recording they brought up about somebody speaking to Madam Taylor, it was like it's set up. They set somebody up because apparently they want to use that person as a state witness or something to stay incriminate people. You talking about a lady that left power 3 years ago. 3 years ago, then you come and ask us today about business, why you take power over for? Maybe what sense it really make the, I mean, you're making people to appear like some fool around here, or you're trying to make them to appear like a fool so you can benefit from them politically. This is it that you're talking about here. Because you called it one, you said 3 years ago, this person was vice president. Okay, agree what? And then if they're not even telling the nature of the business, what kind of business? They're not telling you that. The recording not telling you that, but they put this guy in the room. They say, "Oh, can't do this thing," so that let's establish some evidence against this person that indeed you're doing business with them. What happened since 2023 or 2024? You couldn't make the call to her to find out from her why they left out. Maybe, man, go to the line and talk to the people, man, please. Monk, are you there?
Well, that's great. Yes, indeed, that's great. Thank you. Also, I'm getting this report, I think, from one of the CDC fact stalwart on Bakara Moses. We talk about I think that this individual also in question, I think Bashu also have been given permit to also input rights. I don't know how true is that information. So I think the government had to come out because we can't be talking about a man breaking trust. Then on the same man again, we're hearing that quote unquote the government giving clearance to input rights. So we don't know yet. These are all unconfirmed news or better still report. We hope and pray that our government will react to this information. But hello, David King, good evening. Please let manage the time, please, all of you today. Please let manage the time.
Yeah, I'll be fast. The whole thing, this is a political persecution. Okay, and for Mr. Porter to have a son up to now sitting by him and not being called for all the evidence that he himself has alluded to. I think this is a case 7. Even Gabriel Kumo, who the justice minister said, giving a car, just a car that how they call it, Bianco will remove. So why the justice minister receive car from Gabriel to which the cartel getting the case, justice minister and he himself driving one? Why they are not being removed? And what the president said, he has exclusive confidence in Gabriel Kumo because I want him. One another bad, it's just too bad for our country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David King. To this caller, good evening. Yes, I better go ahead.
Yeah, because the council are covered under the street like in Lower John TV. I'm asking member of the concern for Chelsea. You know, people, I normally told people that are bred and educated and intellectual society. So the acute of the typical Liberian now is about the government. The government is finding it difficult. Look at even the police charges that they came out with. When you look at it, it is very much a map with fraud and a disjunctive argument. They need a guy who gave the former vice president Stefani. And this is the female that have been named a market colleague for giving car to the AG and that of the justice minister. While the justice minister and the AG inclusive of the president's son and state and the government renting all over around here. Then you want a right, the educated, a registered, and the former vice president and for under detention. That's completely bad. You know, and I'm listening to Jisu. These are the major factors that getting led up to the 14 years of civil crisis. When people come to power with a limited mind, and you're not able, you leave. But that's opposition to sit down. It happened to any day here. We saw the result.
All right. Thank you, my dear brother Pascal Davis. My brother, go even a long time.
Maybe we here. We can't go silent. We are here until Mr. Walker learns to do what is right, even though the country has turned lawless. And what about in the country? No. The country has lost its sense of direction, even in government. So let me ask you, the last time before you were arrested, because that was not an invitation for the police. She was arrested. You were spoke. She spoke. The reporters are there. Prior to this thing that is happening, then they spoke. And spoke defending CDC. And was telling the gains that CDC made. After 2 days, they went for home. Today, we're asking all the hard questions. Where is Jojo Boyka? Where is, Biako? Biako accepted gifts. He took car from the cartel. Where is Johnny? Johnny agreed that he has to 10,000, I told 2. And he is 8 to Gregory. Where is Greg? And you realize people in the country are stupid. And you think when you do all those kinds of factories and great spending, then there will be you're doing something. Only the real cartel are the officials in the government. People say that he couldn't break. He admitted that young people in the government and they won't break it down. Prior to they are going to take over the LDA. Somebody admitted that yesterday the executive they still practice. They were start to break jobs in the country. And you go into 2021, 2022, whatever 20. So we are casting these questions about the vaccine and the still are continuing better job. Where are we? Why have you not established us go back to the country so we can launch investigation? And you think everybody is stupid. Yeah, your people, you think everybody is stupid.
All right, thank you, Pascal. We gotta leave you that way. Today's caller, good evening.
Good evening, let me say hi to our folks in the diaspora. This is Sam Weir. I usually join from a local town resident. They want to be clear that women Boyka knows something about this drug saga. That's what I mean. For this only, after the shepherd's call for the Nigerian people, that represents the link, several the upper vehicles, giving the 10,000 as well as Puladito, the allegedly gave reference for 8,000 for a president to say yes, in reference, and no fact. No fact. No fact. Getting the Puladito admitted I took money as to speak. And saying the professional seller, where in the world somebody admitted from the left hand. Professional seller to do what? Get it right?
All right. Thank you, my dear brother. This is Animal Farm. I don't care what you do, the most said. Hello to this caller. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mabel. How are you today?
Yeah, you got to take away that sound. Okay, thank God. I'm okay. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Mamu Sefu. I'm calling you from Problem. Mabel, I just want to speak on 3 things. I don't have much time, but one of it has to do with the issue of evidence. And I don't know how long does it take to establish evidence. I know that all of the time the law will say innocent until proven guilty. Even if they catch the person, at the end of the day, the person is the one that having the dagger in their hand, stabbing this other person. They say they have to go through the committed documentation with a blood all on their head. Yes, and sometimes some people go to court at the end of the day, they are free because they say procedural error, but you know that a person that killed a person. So that is one. 2, I don't know, I always ask people whether they can, we are having a replay of certain things. If you are just rewind the clock of time and then be able for you to witness the scenario of Grady Allison trial, I swear to God, in a public court of opinion, Grady Allison was guilty. Very much guilty.
But during the Truth and Reconciliation time, you hear people confessing how all of these things was stage managed. Just tell me.
And I'm just said.
If you witness that particular, I can remember I used to get my father used to have a black and white TV. We all in Fanta or in Sabukata witnessing it. You see people standing there, people will be clapping. Yes, I think they call the judge and the one banner or one the guy name is there. It will be tapping, everybody laughing. Wouldn't it to fun?
All right. I don't know what happened to your line. We're not really getting you. So let me just take the other call quickly. Hello? Yes, real quickly from you people. Then I go to the WhatsApp line to take some calls because the WhatsApp line to its basic. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. The combo chairman, and the member of the concern of the justice, DOP will need a general Supreme Court. Therefore, the thing that put your game is serious. And you know, people are here, Brian, you have to listen right. This is a political game that Nigeria are being used as a political point. These guys are bargaining. This is a political bargaining. And we are the kids. We, the common, are the kids in the political bargaining. You know you wanted to investigate the past regime. You concentrate on the food. Nobody is stopping you for investigating. Why not 2024?
Yes.
We are in 2026. We are in August. This same time June of 2026. Your hands are there caught in the pocket jar. The Colombia are going Joseph Boakai, they showing a picture. The Colombia are going your son, Joseph Boakai, they showing a picture. They are going Biaco. They are going Gregory Coro. What happened to them? Okay, let's agree one for this picture. Why are you now with this thing? Whatever, where is he? They say you are escorting Josh in Congo. Whatever, Jordan would have been.
10,000. And last day, 10,000. Thank you. To this caller, quickly go even. I'll go to the WhatsApp line. Yeah, go ahead.
This is Edmond Prime Law for Justice. Let me say, kudos to our panelists. Look, neighbor, it's clear, and this is why they will always come. Those are the guys who from the ruling establishment will come and say, "Oh, why you guys always talking about wish form and being political?" Yes, it is because the manner in which you go ahead doing your prosecution, it will make people to believe, to think the way we think. Because how come the president saw confirmed that yes, there was a WhatsApp message I received and I replied. After that, I blocked them. And the guy said on their video that Jojo, they've been doing business with him for a very long time. And this time around, they're going to get them $2 million so that we can be able to allow their remaining goods to go. He didn't deny it. Up to present attention, if it were any opposition, you think they could have let Jojo go? No. Okay. The police actually said the police escorted the truck. 2 police escort cars, one in front, one behind the trucks in the middle. Okay. If you talk about 2021, 2022, 2026, was a jewel that was telling those people to escort the truck where they were carrying it to the holding center. Can
That's
you
the thing.
that? No.
Thank you.
She received it. Have you established that at the time when she was receiving the money that were announced in her township, whether she knew that these people were involved with trust trade? Have you established that? No. But you can't, because somebody gave me gift. So at the end analysis, the person turned to be a bad person, then that means I was aware of their dealing, so I did not to be child. Now checking that child sheet. There's a need there. Stephanie. Now Stephanie persistently, consistently, the guys on Facebook, the Martin Quali, the other guy, are continually told us that that lady is involved with drug. And whenever she in country, Gregory Cuomo is the one that providing for security.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you. Copy that. How did you sum me up? How did you sum me up? Good evening.
Good evening, Libo.
Yeah, my brother, go ahead.
Libo, thank you very much for the show. Therefore, let us our the
But she's from Bon County, and the people of Bon County, well, they won't feel happy. So it's something very big. All right, thank you. Let's go to the WhatsApp line. People beg you. Let's take one or two call quickly from the WhatsApp. Then we come back to our team of panelists. Yeah, the WhatsApp people been calling me back to back, rolling thing, yeah, rolling, and that Mr. Mauro too also. They're my back. Yeah, beg you. Let me take call Ali from the WhatsApp line too. At least let me have them on so that they too they can be able to be part of this show. It's interesting, people. So there's somebody that can be quiet for land business. So some of the challenges you see today. Yeah, but take politics from your mind and read this thing quickly. Yeah. All right. So Mr. Mauro is here with us. Mr. Mauro, good evening.
Good evening. Listen, to you and the panelists over there. So, you know, even the Bashiri guy they talk about, this guy has the rice importation license in Liberia.
Wow.
So why they don't give all the people that get in the rice importation license? I would know he's not bringing any cocaine.
So Mr. Mauro, please, we want to get this thing clear. Are you saying that they are not bad?
It's on Facebook. Somebody put it there. The man has rice importation license in Liberia.
Okay.
Why? Besides that, every Coleman and Oxford Troy are being accused of money they can't account for. Mr. Bogart, bill of billing info here that they can't account for. All of those, how we know it's not drug money. You're talking about 2021 and 2022. We want to draw in the drug 2026 first.
All right.
Go down the line.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mauro. Thank you. We have to go. So Mr. Mauro is right. We're talking about 2026. We're not here for 2021, 2020. So that means that we should go back to 1990, because 1990 do the wartime according to General Borneke, they bought draw, they do the so we should go. No, but people not see what for you. Whatever mock and that Mr. Colin will listen. We hear from our people. I think we gotta go. It's about time I will go now. I don't know what you guys have to say from the Liberian people. Then we'll go for the day.
If you want to go first, I should go.
Yeah, either way, Mom. If you want me to go first,
no, you the senior man. Go first.
All right. Let me say thanks again. Thanks to the callers and
Mr. If I'm Mr. Colin, please, I beg you, let me tell you, William. Yeah, William, dear, my brother, 1 minute quickly.
Good evening to you and Mr. Colin and Milbon. Actually, I listened to, I really like this analysis and stuff like that. But he keep on pushing the narrative of politics. That's the United Party people are in power, so they'll play politics, and subdue the opposition. I don't think that if they go that route, they will succeed, because when you look at Liberia, what happened to us during the 90s, the 14-year civil war, because of injustice. All what we are asking for here, we want a free trial for Madam Joy Howard Taylor, and everybody implicated into the drugs issue to be prosecuted for our country to be free. But if they want to play politics, I don't think they're going to win, because there's a lot of people out here angry about the way Joseph is running the country, and I don't think they're going to win.
All right. Thank you, politics. I must say, Mom may be right 100%. But yeah, go ahead with the comment.
Yeah, again, thanks to the callers, man, and Milbon, thanks for the time, and Mom, I know, man, I appreciate you being here. I hope, man, at least you can stare on the thing. Like that. But listen, I'll keep saying it. One of your callers, I think, Mahmoud Sefu, talking about the Grady Allison case. Grady Allison got set up by Melvin Pine, a guy from Grand Jita. They orchestrated that thing, and then they kind of incriminated Grady Allison. That's why I said early on, I said the Doe era. That's what the kind of tactic they employ. They will set you up, because if we allow this to continue, Milbon, this is a slopier. slippery slope rather, and we're going to live through it because they're going to weaponize the kind of behavior. They look at any political opponent. It could be the CDC today. It could be any potential person to set you up like this kind of way. They're talking about putting people in room, calling you. They could call anybody and then they defame you and they parade you all through the street over there with cough on your hands. Because the reality is that you got a current situation without even addressing it. It's like the whole article, $317 million drug issue and the $19 million. It's like we put it aside and we talk about 2021, 2022 situation. A circumstantial situation. Or somebody gave you money and you use it for your purpose, so like you're supporting and blah, 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 the whole 9 yards. It's unfortunate. People got to kick against the thing because they are weaponizing everything over there, and it will be at a detriment. Even ordinary talk show hosts, they can incriminate you this way, and you'll find it very difficult to defend yourself. It's a scary situation here, and we got to address it. This notion of people that, oh yeah, you know, that's that time. They will not want to go after themselves, this and that. But then you're not doing it for the interest of the people. Because currently we're talking about the country is infested with drugs. Deal with the situation right now, how you will remedy it. And then yes, of course, other people, you can go down the line. But the thing about you're going to prioritize a lady that have lived in our country for 30 years pretty consistently, even when her husband was president. She had no record of this kind of behavior to tell us that she's trafficking drugs in our country. Look at the car that woman riding. Maybe let me close on this. You think if Joa had money, her son would die in Liberia? She would have sent that boy abroad for medical attention. Look at the car she's riding. She's complaining every day that you're not even her own immunity as former vice president. You're not even giving it to her. And you can put on an impression that somebody gave her money for the traffic drug in our country. This is bad. And it's as bad can be. But again,
thank you.
I know we'll be here tomorrow to keep adding our voice to it. Yes, the people are elect. It's not like in 1990 or back in the 80s. People are fully elect, and even the semi-illiterate, the semi-literate, they will be involved and they are informed too. So thanks for the time, man. And Monk, thanks for the time. You can close it up.
Well, I think you said it all. For me, I love to be pragmatic in politics. I want fairness. I want transparency. I need a holistic approach when it comes to drugs because I don't think there is any network on radio or on the social media space that can cover up pressing issue impacting the nation on a day-to-day basis in Sktv. We took the policy aside, the politics aside. We always talk about healthcare, the most important thing, very important issue. Sometimes we even talk about education, advising young people to take some marketable skill instead of going to LU. To get a bachelor degree from the simple, I got bachelor degrees for the past 20 years and they can't even get a job. So for me, the politics is not an option. But the one thing that I know you will never take the politics out. And the second thing that I know you cannot manufacture a crime when it comes to criminal act. The government might be in power, they have all the leverage, they can make phone calls, they can control. But at the end of the day, to find someone guilty of a criminal offense, you got to come with a substantial proof. And if they don't have that on hand, then Joel Howard Taylor will come out flying, and then Unity Party will take the hit. Because, like I said, every decision you make in politics, there is a risk factor. They got a good side and they got a bad side. The only thing I'm concerned about, I want the Liberian people to focus enough so that they know who is playing games. Because if you cannot tell who is playing games, then you won't know how to punish people. Because you want to take a side, you are Unity Party partisan, you want the party mandate. So even when the government is doing the bad thing, you cannot take your pen and paper to know, you know what the voter can do here. Every major thing that happens, they can jot it down in a lay.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
We're just waiting because this is the only time you will have to express yourself. But when you want to play the politics, then you will not see who is actually playing games here. So, like I said, the Unity Party folks are the one that are in power. I know they won't go after people within their inner circle. I can guarantee you that because they believe they have leverage, they have power.
You're right about that, Monk. You're right. Typical example, Monk, like you talk about the low-fast situation, they will never investigate it.
They won't. So the only thing I will tell the voters again before we leave the radio, the ball is in your court. If Unity Party believe that they can outsmart you, then it's up to you to tell them that we are smarter than you. But until then, we leave everything open up. I will not come here to a quick conclusion. I will let Mr. Taylor to go through the process. I hope that they can give her a very free and fair trial, because if she was never connected to this stuff, the reality will come out and people will get to know who's actually playing games here. So my only thing here is to the voter, take your note, monitor the situation, take your feelings and emotions aside, look at things for what they are, not for what you expect them to be. Whether you are Unity Partisan or CDC or Liberty Party, just follow the game. Pay attention. Forget the politics, because at the end of the day, we can escape the politics. But if you cannot identify who is actually trying to abuse the laws and the system in Liberia, then you won't be able to punish them at the ballot box. That's all I can say for today. That's my parting comment right there.
Thanks, Bone. Thanks, man.
All right, guys.
Why that is calling up for us for 12, then we done. Then the whole investigation for Gregory Coleman, and if President Boaga is calling up for us for 12, then we done. Then the whole investigation is Fiamobo. It's a Fiamobo. Then we done. Then we cannot respect. Look, when you go buy the car and you're lying, and money in the budget and you're lying, and you're telling people that no, this is not. Hey, look, the country is done. C'est fini. But this is an embarrassment on the rescue government. For the rescue government to get liars and BM and they eat the government money and buy news cars and lie to the president and lie to the people. And then they turn around and President Boaga will keep them, but he will say he fought the corruption. What sense that make? They're not bring people feeding for the next 3 years.
The identified key players. This thing was definitely sanctioned as state actors at the very, very senior level of this government, of the Republic of Liberia.
Say openly here, from the executive to the first president of government and to the judiciary, you go in the sector, you find somebody involved with drugs. The reason is simple. Drug is a lucrative business, so everybody want to get money.
Boaga is calling up for Gregory Coleman, and if President Boaga is calling up for us for 12, then we done. Then the whole investigation is Fiamobo. It's a Fiamobo. Then we done. Then we cannot respect. Look, when you go buy the car and you're lying, and money in the budget and you're lying, and you're telling people that no, this is not. Hey, look, the country is done. C'est fini. But this is an embarrassment on the rescue government. For the rescue government to get liars and BM and they eat the government money and buy news cars and lie to the president and lie to the people. And then they turn around and President Boaga will keep them, but he will say he fought the corruption. What sense that make? They're not bring people feeding for the next 3 years.
The identified key players. This thing was definitely sanctioned as state actors at the very, very senior level of this government, of the Republic of Liberia.
Say openly here, from the executive to the first president of government and to the judiciary, you go in the sector, you find somebody involved with drugs. The reason is simple. Drug is a lucrative business, so everybody want to get money.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Monitor people who willing to serve. The blessing that time and the effort are rest. The brothers who giving us here, the payment from them. The welcome and life without again.
A lyrical health.
Master.
Cleverly, so I can't Sktv-Lib. Say my journey, Tina can I say my jamo. And yes, I know money. The more I get you, and you love me. The more I get you,
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
Ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Salia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Côte d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Salia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Côte d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Nigeria ya tumale, Sktv, ena Nigeria, tosi wako maya tumale, yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the low power and grand bazaar.
There are things we can do. We bringing good news and we give it to you. We talking for podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and out part of the club. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The flesh, the time and the efforts are red. The broadcast we giving are real and I promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.